Today we're going down the list of the 10 worst foods according to science. And the number one might really surprise you, because it's something millions of people eat every single day, often feeling proud of their choice and believing it's actually good for them. Let's dive right in. Starting at number 10, flavored yogurts and sweetened dairy products. At first sight, flavored yogurts seem like a clever, healthy pick. They're refreshing, smooth, and creamy, and the packaging is full of appealing claims like probiotic, rich in calcium, and good for your gut. But when you look beyond the marketing and read the label carefully, most of these products act far more like dessert than real health food. The issue isn't the dairy itself, it's everything that's been added and done to it. Number 9, refined breakfast pastries and packaged baked goods. Muffins, croissants, toaster pastries, and those ready-made cakes are often seen as perfectly normal breakfast options. Yet from a metabolic point of view, they behave exactly like dessert. These items are built mainly from refined flour, industrial oils, and large amounts of sugar. That combination means they break down extremely quickly in the body and give almost no lasting feeling of fullness. The refining process removes nearly all the fiber, minerals, and natural fats, leaving mostly fast-digesting starch that turns into glucose in no time. The oils are usually seed oils that easily oxidize while baking and produce inflammatory compounds. On top of that, sugar is added, sometimes in several different forms within the same product. The result is a perfect recipe for sharp blood sugar spikes followed by energy crashes that leave you hungrier and craving more later in the day. Because people typically eat these foods first thing in the morning, they often set the metabolic rhythm for the entire rest of the day. Beginning your day with repeated insulin surges makes it much harder to control appetite, maintain steady energy, and stay focused. That's exactly why this category ranks higher on the danger list than most people would guess. Number 8, protein bars and so-called healthy snack bars. These bars are heavily promoted as fitness fuel, weight loss aids, or convenient meal replacements. In truth, a large number of them are basically candy bars with some protein powder mixed in. The protein is frequently highly processed, coming from soy protein isolates or lower-quality dairy fragments, while the rest of the bar is loaded with syrups, sugar alcohols, artificial flavors, and various binding agents. Although the added protein can slow digestion a little, it doesn't cancel out the negative metabolic effects of the high sugar or sweetener content. Many bars use several different sweeteners in smaller quantities so that sugar doesn't appear as the very first ingredient on the label, giving the false impression of a balanced product while still strongly triggering insulin release. What makes these bars particularly risky is the psychological side. People consume them every day thinking they're making a smart, disciplined decision. Over time, this habit strengthens dependence on ultra-processed foods and makes it much harder to build a real connection with genuine whole foods. Number 7, artificially sweetened beverages. Diet sodas and zero-calorie drinks contain no sugar, but that doesn't mean they're metabolically innocent. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium activate the sweet taste receptors on your tongue without providing any actual calories. This tricks your body's appetite regulation and insulin signaling systems. Research indicates that these sweeteners can change the balance of gut bacteria, worsen glucose tolerance, and keep sugar cravings alive even when no calories are consumed. They also train the brain to constantly expect intense sweetness, which makes natural whole foods taste bland in comparison. While these drinks don't cause an immediate blood sugar spike the way sugary beverages do, their long-term impact on metabolism, gut health, and appetite control is significant enough to place them solidly in the middle of this danger ranking. Number 6, low-fat and fat-free packaged foods. When manufacturers take the fat out of a product, they don't simply remove the calories. They replace them with something else. Fat provides satisfying texture, rich flavor, and a strong feeling of fullness. Once it's removed, food companies usually add sugar, refined starches, gums, emulsifiers, and complex artificial flavor combinations to compensate. Low-fat versions of salad dressings, spreads, cheeses, and desserts often end up with extremely long ingredient lists that barely look like real food anymore. These additives may not cause obvious problems right away, but over months and years they raise overall inflammation, interfere with proper digestion, and can reduce the body's ability to absorb nutrients. The core problem isn't fat itself. it's the heavy processing. Naturally low-fat foods are perfectly fine, but when a food that was originally rich in fat is chemically stripped of it and reformulated, that's a clear red flag. That's why this category moves higher up the list. Number 5. Industrial seed oils. Seed oils such as soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, and canola oil have become incredibly common. You'll find them in restaurant kitchens, almost every packaged product, and many home pantries. These oils are produced using intense heat, high pressure, and chemical solvents, then deodorized to hide the rancid smell caused by oxidation. They contain very high levels of omega-6 fatty acids. While small amounts of omega-6 are essential, excessive intake becomes strongly inflammatory. Today's typical diets often show omega-6 to omega-3 ratios as extreme as 20:1, far outside what human biology evolved to handle. The oxidized fats from these oils contribute to ongoing low-grade inflammation, insulin resistance, and increased cardiovascular strain. Because they're so widespread and used daily, the damage builds up quietly over many years, which is why they sit in the upper half of this countdown. Number 4. Margarine and hydrogenated spreads. Margarine was once aggressively marketed as a healthier, heart-friendly choice compared to butter. In reality, it stands as one of the most extreme examples of food processing. Liquid vegetable oils are chemically hydrogenated to turn them solid, which completely changes their molecular structure and creates trans fats. Even when the label proudly says zero trans fat, tiny amounts can still slip through thanks to legal loopholes in labeling rules. Trans fats damage cell membranes, throw off cholesterol balance, and have a well-documented connection to heart disease. This is a food that simply does not exist in nature and serves no useful biological purpose in the human body, which is why it ranks so close to the very top of the danger list. Number 3. Fruit juice. Whole fresh fruit comes with natural fiber that slows down the absorption of its sugars. Fruit juice strips away that crucial protection. When you drink juice, the sugar from several pieces of fruit hits your bloodstream within minutes, causing insulin responses very similar to those from soda. The fructose in juice is metabolized mainly in the liver, which can encourage fat buildup and raise the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease with regular consumption. Juice also lacks the chewing action and natural satiety signals that whole fruit provides, so it's very easy to drink far too much without realizing it. Because juice is widely viewed as natural and healthy, many people, especially children, consume it every day. That perception combined with its effects is exactly why it ranks this high. Number 2. Sugary drinks and sweetened beverages. Sodas, sweetened teas, energy drinks, flavored coffees, and sports drinks are essentially liquid sugar. They completely bypass the body's normal mechanisms for feeling full and deliver massive loads of glucose without any sense of satisfaction. Regular intake of these drinks is strongly connected to obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and higher cardiovascular risk. Because liquids pass through the digestive system so rapidly, the metabolic harm adds up quickly. This makes sugary beverages one of the most damaging everyday staples in the modern diet. And finally, number 1. Refined grains and ultra-processed white flour products. White bread, refined pasta, crackers, and most baked goods made with white flour top the list because they are consumed daily, often several times a day, by huge numbers of people. Modern wheat varieties have been selectively bred for higher yields and better baking performance rather than nutritional value. The refining process removes almost all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind almost pure starch. These foods cause rapid blood sugar spikes, drive insulin resistance, fuel chronic inflammation, and push more nutritious options out of the diet. Their widespread cultural acceptance and sheer convenience make them especially dangerous, not because they cause immediate harm, but because they slowly undermine health over many years while feeling completely normal and harmless. These foods don't damage you overnight. They do it quietly, one meal at a time. Awareness is the very first step toward making better decisions. If this ranking surprised you at all, drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me which item on the list you're going to reconsider first. What truly makes these foods so risky isn't simply that they exist. It's that they've become completely normalized in our daily lives. They're inexpensive, incredibly convenient, constantly advertised, and carefully engineered to feel comforting and familiar. Over time, that familiarity dulls our sense of urgency. When something doesn't cause obvious pain right away, the brain tends to label it as safe, even when the science clearly says otherwise. That's exactly how slow, hidden damage works. It hides inside our everyday routines. If this video helped you look at ordinary foods in a new light, please hit the like button so it can reach more people. And let me know in the comments, which food on this list shocked you the most, or which one are you still finding the hardest to give up?